One of the key questions people ask, how much money do they need to retire comfortably? Some people plan to retire early in their 40s, and some people hustle to retire in their 50s, while others work well into their 60s and 70s before leaving full-time work for good. If you've been working hard, don't be surprised if one day you find yourself remain at work in your senior years. My husband and I used to borrow our lifestyle from credit card debt when we were living in New York. During those years, 17,000 US dollar in credit card debt is a lot of money, especially if you are living paycheck to paycheck. Whether you owe $1,000 or $100,000, any amount of debt will severely stress your savings once you retire. So today I will share with you some of the steps I made, my retirement roadmap to end my uncertainties. Today, let's talk about the 7 signs why you cannot claim retirement, tips how to keep yourself out of debt, and the importance of financial planning for you to create your own retirement roadmap and know how much money you need to retire comfortably. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jen Gua. I teach everything about the step-by-step breakthrough solution that gives you the edge to set your own role consulting business that scales. So if you don't know already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification so every time I drop this kind of video, you will get notified. Okay, so let's dive into it. So what are the 7 signs you cannot claim an early retirement? First, too much of debt. Second, struggling to pay current bills. Third, no emergency fundings for 6 months. And fourth, dependent on Social Security benefits. Fifth, you don't know your fixed expenses. And sixth, no long-term financial plan. And 7, but not the least, if you are living with uncertainties. So each and every one of us, we have fixed expenses that can't be avoided. It's impossible to avoid paying house rental, credit cards, and in many cases, car loans, and expenses that we can avoid, eating outside, shopping, or traveling, right? So the question that should be answered is what the spending limit should you allocate in each of your spending categories? One biggest decision my husband and I made in our lifetime was when we decided to give up our career in New York and start a new life in the Philippines in 1996. So I remember clearly that we do not have anything under our name. We do not have any knowledge of how to handle money better. It was a nightmare living with uncertainties. So when we reached the Philippines, we borrowed from relatives to make ends meet. And by the time we got our new job, we made a commitment to pay off all our debts in 2 years and cut all our credit cards in our keeping. And finally, we became debt-free in 2 years. So we made a lot of sacrifices, worked very hard, and we learned the skill of delayed gratification. It was not easy, but with all the discipline and determination, it's really worth it. Because after 2 decades, we didn't expect to drop our daughter attending her university in New York. So here are my 10 tips to keep yourself out of debt. First is prioritize paying off debt. Second, don't borrow money than you expect to make. And third, avoid buy now and pay later attitude. Fourth, practice delayed gratification. And fifth, pay with cash whenever possible. Okay, number 6 is live within your means. 7, pay more than the minimum payment. 8, take only the cash with you that you can afford to spend whenever you go out. And 9, avoid borrowing your lifestyle. So please, okay, don't borrow your lifestyle. And 10, keep a record of all your purchases. If you are living paycheck to paycheck, retiring early won't make things easier. Several years ago, I do not care about anything to secure my future. I spend without any control, no savings. Here's the thing, there's more to retirement, not just having enough money to pay current bills or just having the appropriate amount saved. You have to consider your long-term healthcare needs as well as any inheritance that you want to leave behind for your loved ones. And why is it important that you need to have emergency fund? So life often gives us unexpected money problem. That's why it's so important to have money set aside. There are several unexpected expenses, whether you just got fired or sudden illness. The emergency fund comes into play when life throws you a major curveball. You have money to fall back on. You will use this money for any unexpected events. So how much should you save for emergency fund? That all depends on you. Know your household monthly fixed expenses. How much do you allocate for rainy day fund? So rainy day fund is money you pay for things without using your credit card. Like you're going to need few $100s that you can easily access. So when you need it, it's there. So for example, car repair, plumbing service, a sudden visit to the dentist. So how much you should save for emergency fund will be all depending on your numbers. So it is important that you have a realistic number in mind. Is your monthly spending $1,000 or let's say $3,000? Whatever the amount for your monthly expenses is, multiply it by 6. That's how much you should try to put away, and that's how it can help you how much money you need to retire comfortably. And also, never rely on Social Security during retirement. Social Security is the major source of income for most of the elderly. But if you want to retire comfortably, Social Security should be your last resort. And why need retirement planning? So let me ask you, how can you retire comfortably if you don't even know how did you spend your money? I bet if you are watching this video now, you do not know how much you spent last month, right? So if you don't know this number, how would you know how much you needed to have the kind of lifestyle you want in the future? So you need to learn how to monitor the in and out of your money. Personally, I do not use any sophisticated retirement savings calculator, but I only have this simple Excel worksheet that helped me to see if I am entitled to get a vacation or work more harder to grow my business. So here's the thing. If you don't have financial planning, that means you've got higher financial risk in your senior years. Retiring comfortably means you have to plan it in advance. Imagine trusting all your savings with your fund manager into a high-risk mutual fund, and you are anticipating a high return, and all of a sudden, losing a major chunk of your hard-earned money. So by the time you reach your retirement age, you simply wipe out all your savings. So what would you do? So financial planning reduces the risk of loss by trusting someone with your hard-earned money. So creating impulse decision due to time constraint is very dangerous and risky. So don't do that. So here are the steps how to create your financial planning. So first is set your retirement goal based on the lifestyle you want. Second, monitor your money and work towards your goal. Pay off all your debts, okay? Never have a ceiling of your income. Save more than you spend. Invest with certainty. And let your money work hard for you. Uncertainty is all around us, from job security, finances, physical and emotional. So we're all different in how we handle and how we tolerate uncertainties in life. Some people can take risks and some cannot. If you agonize over preparing your retirement, focus only on the things that you can control, like monitoring your money, and challenge yourself on how you can generate more income by using your experience and turn it into a resource. Because nowadays, independent consultancy is becoming a popular business startup. When I left my highly successful job as an expat executive and began my consulting business startup, I purposely didn't start with a complex business plan because I knew that I would only get a sense of real income once I tested my business idea in the marketplace and not on paper for me to see if someone will pay me. So I focus on simplicity and the practicality on how to get my first consulting client. So I started learning how to make a living from home and continue to plan my retirement. So I started to take charge of my future right after I decided to pay off all my debt. Retiring early takes time and needs incredible discipline. The journey to retirement is not easy, but if you do all the preparations, like you earn, save, and invest as much as you possibly can, it can give you the flexibility and the life you ever wanted to work, travel, and relax on your schedule. So everyone, retirement's income needs will be slightly different. So to calculate how much money you need to retire, you need to carefully calculate your anticipated expenses and potential income streams. Know your retirement numbers, the lifestyle you want, and works toward your goal. So setting goals, creating an action plan for achieving them, and reviewing it regularly throughout your journey can help you keep your finances and retirement years secure. So if you're retired or nearing retirement, it's important to keep your goals firmly solid. So hopefully this guide has taught you on how to prepare your retirement and give you a clear guide how you can calculate how much money you need to retire comfortably. Create your own rule and own your outcomes. Jankua here, your breakthrough guide to design your future.